It was beyond anything you could do.
It's all my fault.
Or
We'll
Greg
accept
or Mike.
no answer other than it's the instructor's fault.
Oh no.
It was nice and toasty.
Mm-hmm. What temperature was it?
28 or 29.
Oh, it's pretty up there.
Yeah, it was sunny. It was 29, 30 degrees. It was humid, actually. It's hell. So people it's the humidity that saps the shit out of people. They just
I don't usually get that out here. Not 20, 30 and humid.
Oh, it's always humid here.
That's when we get tornadoes.
We finally got a break in the humidity today. That's it.
All right. Welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 515. Today is July 12th, 2023. I'm one of your hosts, Kyle.
Kelly.
Oh, that's me. I'm reading Tony's Did the Single Women Invasion Workout. What the hell is that?
You were invading the U.S. It was 1812. You were doing a personal crusade of 1812.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Hi, I'm Kelly.
Hi, I'm Adriel.
Hi, I'm Mo.
That was very smooth. Very smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the smoothest.
That's what we're known for. We're known for our just like butter tight.
Flawless.
Absolutely.
Butter tight.
Yeah.
Butter
Improv right on the spot. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We get into what we did with guns. And speaking of 1812, Kelly, why don't you tell us about your reenactment?
Oh, well, that's fantastic. I don't know. It's been a while since I've been on. I've been doing a lot of things. Went to the US. That is correct. I met up with some people that I haven't seen in a really long time. Got to hang out with Brian Bolivar and had to do that down in the US, believe it or not. And then I also actually met up with one of our listeners, Tim Crosno, who's also from the US. My dogs are barking. As well as his lovely wife. So he came up from Texas. We had a friend of mine come from Phoenix, and some other people come from Tennessee. Sticks came from Tennessee. So it was really good. Went down to Michigan and had really, really good time. But it was everybody. I'm not sure if everybody knows her or not. Anyway, Stacy, she got married to Mr. Bill Wilson. So really, really fun time. What else did I do?
She's an Appleseed instructor in the U.S.
She is. She's also actually closely tied to Mapleseed. She's one of our board members as well. And yeah.
She helped with the efficiency of theft of IP from Appleseed to Mapleseed.
This is correct. I will not. No. Nope. Take that back.
If you breed an apple seed and a maple seed, what do you get?
A maple apple?
Well, those are really good. Mapples.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I had a maple seed last weekend. I will not talk about it because I think that somebody else that's on the show tonight will be talking about what he did in guns this week. And had a lot of things happening. I just can't remember all of them. My brain is fried. We did She Shoots last night with the She Shoot podcast. It was number 18. We did mounted shooting. It was awesome. Who wouldn't like that, right? You got girls, you got guns, and you got horses doing it all at once. So it was pretty cool.
I want to hunt from a horse. Like I've said this before on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hunting deer from a horse, nice and quiet, walking along. You see a deer. The deer sees a horse. They're like, I've seen that horse before. That's not a threat. Today it is.
Bam.
Bang.
And then you get the deer, you throw it over the horse, or you tie a rope to it and you just drag it back home.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Easy. Yeah. I also finally got my laptop up and working. Tested it last night for the podcast, and I'm gonna obviously use it tonight as well. No lag. Looks pretty
Awesome.
good. Quality's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's me. All right, Kyle. El Jefe. What about you?
I made it to the range on Saturday and got some training in. Did probably about 2.5 hours of 3-gun training. And basically just working on manipulations and just hammering the WMD drill. I don't know if people are familiar with it, but it's actually a really good weapons manipulation drill.
Oh, I thought it was weapons of mass destruction.
No, it's a low round count drill, so not mass. Keith Garcia, I think, originally come with it, or that's who I learned it from anyways. And it's a really good drill. So you start out with your pistol, mag and mag well, but empty chamber, mag on your belt, and then a mag on table, and your rifle is 2 mags on the table, empty mag well, bolt forward, and shotgun has 2 in it, 1 on the lifter. So you start, you draw your pistol, rack it, shoot your 2 rounds. You are now at empty, reload, rack slide, 2 rounds, and then reload off the table, 2 rounds. Dump your pistol, grab your rifle, load with one of the mags off the table, or with your 2-rounded mag off the table, load it, rack it, shoot your 2 rounds, reload from the belt, 2 rounds, and then reload from the table, 2 rounds, dump your rifle, and then grab your shotgun, shoot 1 round, load 4, then shoot 5, so that puts you at bolt lock, and then match save for your last round.
Sounds like a Keith Garcia kind of a drill.
That's where I got the drill from. Yeah.
I'm just stating the obvious for our audience.
Yeah. I thought I had said that earlier, but whatever. But yeah, I think Keith Garcia come up with the drill, but I was able to. It's always humbling because you think, oh yeah, I should be able to do that, and I think I got it down to like 20 seconds with like 2 Charlie on the pistol. So it's and I was shooting at about 10 yards. So it was, by the end of it, I was definitely tired. My hand was tore up and sore, but it was definitely good. And I did shoot the Taurus. I started out shooting the Taurus and started getting that brought back up. But yeah, it's just, you have to have such a tight grip on the Taurus to actually get it to hit where you want it to hit. So yeah, take a bit more practice with that. I did order a holster for it, but it has not shipped yet. Give me 2 seconds here.
I'm kind of curious, what kind of holster? Is it like a concealment holster? It's a concealment holster, right?
Yeah, it's a concealment holster inside the waistband with the sidecar, and it is it was, what was it? Crossbreed. Yeah.
Cool.
So
yeah, why would you?
I haven't gotten a shipment notification. I did get a notification that they have the slides with the red dot cutout in stock, but I'm gonna hold off before ordering that for a bit. But I did get some.
How much? How many rounds do you have on iron sights? Like, would you want to go iron like red dot on a carry pistol?
I would, yeah. Yeah, especially a lot of the red dots now, as soon as you move them, the red dot turns on. So yeah, just being able to pick it up and that, I personally like it. But I did pick up some shotgun dummy rounds because when I moved down here, I left all my dummy rounds up in Canada because I didn't want them to be confused with ammo because I didn't have ammo on my Form 6. So they're... Ordered them off Amazon. They're Bees dummies, and feeling them, like they feel really good. They're really good quality. They feel like they are actually shotgun shells. So
cool.
I haven't. They just come in, so I haven't actually loaded with them, but they are pretty much actually better than what I was making before. So so they should be all right. I also have retired my baseball cleats of like 7-8 years. So I've been running these baseball cleats for shooting for probably like 7 or 8 years, and you can tell like they're quite wore down.
They still look pretty good.
They've been doing it, but with the harder ground here, it's they were great for running in grass and sand and that, but with the harder ground, it's not quite as good, and my feet are starting to get sore by the end of the day wearing these all day. So I have finally joined the speed cross cult.
Oh,
So
Nice.
Picked up a set of Speed Cross 6s. And
You didn't get the black ones with the Gore-Tex. You got the flashy looking
oh,
ones.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course. You've shot with me. Of course I got the flashy ones. So I'll be trying those out this weekend at our monthly USPSA match. So, and yeah, I got a meeting for that tomorrow night, but I was actually talking with our club president Monday night, I think. And our club's been having issues with Steel Challenge and USPSA with getting classifiers uploaded. I guess USPSA is not accepting their last year's classifiers, like the ones they released last year, for some reason. I find out more about that tomorrow night, I guess, but they're struggling with that. And yeah, like Steel Challenge is not uploading stuff. So but he was mentioning to me, and what we're going to pass with the club tomorrow night, or attempt to, I guess, is that because we would do the months that we would have 5 Saturdays, the 5th Saturday would be a Steel Challenge match. And it's talking about turning that into a multi-gun match. So instead of doing Steel Challenge, we'll be doing multi-gun. So
what are you doing for your... Actually, I want to know everything about your 3-gun loadout. So you're running an AR.
Yeah, I'm
30
running
round mags, D60.
Actually, right off the D60, I actually don't load too often. Like I'll have it loaded up for a match, but unless it's like a really long, like a lot of long range and a lot of shooting on a stage, I won't actually use the D60.
Don't need it.
But
30
I
round
will
mags.
always, not always. My usual loadout for load make ready is a 40 rounder with the different tactical extensions. So about 43, 44 rounds that I start out the stage with. So
Well, of course.
and then I'll have my 30 rounder with the same. Like it's, I think they say it's a +5, but I run it like a +3 or +4 base pad. And I'll run that on my belt as kind of like a backup.
Don't need the D60.
No, that's the thing. I've used it on a few stages like a few years ago, but yeah, you really don't need the D60. It can be handy if you're like doing like a rooftop position where you need a short mag or something like that. Because I think the D60 works out. It's about the same height as a 20 rounder. Yeah, give me 2 seconds.
Good for prone. If you need to like lay down a base of fire from prone, that D60 is handy.
Yeah, I found it really handy on like rooftops. Not because you can still monopod off of it and whatnot. So
You're shooting off rooftops?
well, you get the rooftop platform. They build like a
Oh,
half
the
rooftop.
platforms.
Yeah.
You're not going to the center of the city and
No.
got it. Right.
Actually, on our topic tonight, there is some cool stuff with our main topic that in South Carolina that I really want to go and do, but we'll get into that into the main topic. But yeah, so loadout is 40, usually the 40 plus rounder, 30 rounder on the belt, or 30 plus rounder on the belt. I'll run 1, maybe 2 mag pistols on my belt because I'll be running like 20 rounds, 20 round mags. So yeah, 1 or 2 on my belt, 1 in the gun, obviously. And then like the shotgun really doesn't change because actually to start, you can still only have 8 in the tube. Actually, like ghost loading doesn't happen down here because I can only have 9 in the gun.
Yeah, I actually kind of like that rule because, then you don't dick around with ghost load with people who don't know how to ghost loading their gun.
But I have a 12 round tube. I'd like to start with that fully open.
Well,
so
you can always load more into it after the beep. So your belt is basically like, do you still run a chest rig, or do you just run all your shotgun shells off your belt? You have the room.
Well,
right?
no, I still have chest rig in case like there's still do some big shotgun stages, but like, I mean, my shotgun loadout hasn't changed from Canada to the US. I have an 8 round caddy, a 12 round caddy, and then a 24 round caddy.
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting in the closet right now. Otherwise I'd pull them out. Maybe next week I'll bring them out. But yeah, like my shotgun loadout has not changed, and yeah, it won't
your
change.
belt is more compact, less
Yeah,
bulk on it.
yeah, I'm not carrying 2 to 3 rifle mags or 3 to 4 pistol mags. And
Yep.
still same amount of rounds. It's just not so much real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So
Tony wants to run his KSG 25 at full cap. You know what'll happen is the odd stage brief will say, "Oh, start empty or start 5 rounds in the gun," and then you're screwed.
yeah.
Because then you have nothing, and that thing's so slow to load.
Well, one interesting with USPSA multi-gun, they have the modified division now. So that's like your division that you can have a slide ride optic on your pistol. And I believe you can have an optic on your shotgun. You can have your barrel ported on your shotgun, and your tube can be loaded full from the start. The modified USPSA modified division for multi-gun is actually really interesting, and I might get into it, but I'm still a TAC Ops guy, so
That's interesting. Go fast division.
yeah, kind of really in the middle between open and practical, or TAC Ops, whatever you want to call it, practical. So
Cool.
But yeah, that's what I've done this week. How about you, Adriel?
Not a lot. I reloaded some ammo, made 1,000 rounds of 9mm, not small batch. Crank them out, get them done. Overflow. My Costco bin over there. I wonder if I can aim down there. My Costco bin just past that bag there. It's full, and then there's another bin right next to it that's overflowing with 9mm. Cheaply
Nice.
made, quality QC, very low. It'll probably go bang. Hopefully it doesn't go bang too loud. Anyways, made a bunch of that. And practically in the same time, I made 100 rounds of 223 and prepped on 300 cases, let's say, of 223. But those cases, that was full length sizing. It was with a buddy of mine who's also a listener. Full length size, those. I have now trimmed them all because I can't be bothered to measure them all. So they all go through the world's finest trimmer. And next up is the really slow step, which is chamfer it, because there's a burr on the inside and outside of the mouth. So chamfer, cut the primer pocket, because more than half of them have crimped primer pockets. And yeah, that step it's like 10 seconds per case. So just got to do all that. Then after that step, then it's fairly quick. Then I can run the hand prime 100 cases or 200 cases or whatever. Powder 200 cases.
This is what you have children for.
That is how you get kabooms. I don't.
Well, I'm not talking about filling it with powder and all that. I'm talking about
the case prep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get them put them. Yes, exactly. Tony says put the boys to work.
The boys to work.
Like, and you can quality control it, pull one out, and then if it's not, do it over. Yeah.
I could get him to trim. I could get him to do the case neck and whatnot, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, resize and trim. They could do that. Yeah.
Yeah. They could do all that bit.
You take care of the powder and everything. But yeah, they can do that.
Yeah, exactly. And then this weekend I have a Kananaskis doubleheader with Tom, so that's Maple Seed. So we've got a bit of a drive to head down there. The camping in Old Flats, and then during the day we'll be out in Kananaskis doing the Maple Seeds there. This is a new range for me. I haven't done one down at Kananaskis. I've heard that maybe we did one there a while back, but those are all sold out. Did have a couple of last minute cancellations, so I'm just trying to fill those right now. Yeah,
it's a beautiful area, beautiful range. So people.
We got a wait list of 6 for both days, so I think there's something to do there. Richard's asking, is there a market for a fully automatic case prep robot? Need to retire. There is, and that such a thing exists. I know with Bolivar, when he was describing how he does his progressive for his 223, he's got like this vacuum powered trimmer thing So he like full length sizes, and then the next one trims, and I think it chamfers at the same time. And one of them runs the primer pocket, like decrimps it, and then the rest like do all the other stuff. So you can progressively reload. Old word for good luck finding camping spot. Oh yeah, 2 days after like things opened, I went and looked, and it's like, oh, I'm in Sybil Flat. Like we're camping 45 minutes away from where the range is. It's still saving time for Tom and I because it's a 4 or 5 hour drive to get there. But we still got to wake up in the morning to.
They won't let you camp out at the range.
No camping at that range. So that good luck for finding camping spot is it's got some truth to it. But whatever, like it's a great season to camp, so I don't mind it at all. Yeah. Kelly, you trying to talk? I see your mouth moving, but I see the mute is on, so I don't think I hear anything.
Kelly?
Yeah, I muted
Oh, I hear the
myself
dogs.
because my dogs. Anybody
It's
want a
all
couple of
part of it.
dogs?
My dogs don't bark. They don't bark at all. Just whines.
They say howls. So you got a husky.
Doesn't howl.
No?
Nope. Very quiet.
How old?
4 or 5 years old.
Okay.
Doesn't make sounds.
That's
Whines
good.
a little bit every once in a while. Yeah, pretty good. Anyways, that was my week. So yeah, I'll be camping and shooting and whatnot this weekend. Mo, how about you?
I didn't do anything this weekend, so we can move on to the
Shush.
rest of the show. Go ahead,
Okay.
Kyle. Take it away.
We're gonna pull up all the questions. Let's just go back here just a little
Yeah,
bit.
there's
We're
a
gonna
whole
back up.
conversation happening regarding this.
Uh-huh.
But then I already talked this out. Wasn't it done?
No, that was pre-show, so now you got to do it all over again.
Oh dear.
The whole thing.
So they asked P. Roy. The question is, how much did Mo pay for his rifleman?
The
By
answer
way,
to that is not enough.
that is correct because it's right here. Kelly's integrity is too high for that. to
Yes.
happen. I also
Very
didn't
high.
receive the case of whiskey that was promised.
Yeah, Mo, your bribe was incorrect. It wasn't not enough. It was the wrong kind of bribe.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get this done.
Okay.
So it was a lovely day at the range, Maple Seed, Cornwall, Saturday. I'll start before that. So I went to the local range in Montreal, the indoor one, to just make sure that the rifle was sighted in at 25 meters. And I met a gentleman there, Earl.
Yeah.
Who I've seen at some IPSC matches. I don't know him that well, but I ended up talking to him there, and he was. I mentioned the Maple Seed, and he said, "Oh, I've always wanted to do one, but every time I try, it's sold out." So then we look at the Cornwall one, and sure enough, there was no adult spots left, just for children. And then I messaged Kelly, and she was kind enough to get him in. So I gave him the information, and he ended up coming on Saturday too. So now let's get to the Maple Seed. And okay, so right off the top, I did not get my patch. I didn't earn it. So that's that. The instruction was top notch. So please don't sully Kelly's good name. She couldn't have done more. And Greg and Mike, they were all terrific.
You shot pretty good.
I was following along. I feel like I was doing well. And then the length of the day and the heat got to me. And then I was telling Adriel pre-show, Kelly, that by the time that I got to the actually MQTs, I was just pulling the trigger to get it done. I was not focused on actually doing the right thing. So I got the score I got because I didn't earn it, and that's that. So
well, you still scored a pretty good score for if that's the case. Bad. I will acknowledge that it was sunny. It was very sunny. It was warm, and it was humid. And I think, from my perspective, everyone, and that includes the instructors as well as the participants, everybody by the end of the day was done. And I saw it also in people's scores while they shot.
Would you say that
MQTs.
Would you say the temperature affected your quality of instruction?
Oh dear.
Be careful, Mo.
No, it was completely me. It had nothing to do with them. Anyways, so
you guys are making this bugging way less fun.
The bug. It wasn't her fault. Like,
Of course it wasn't, but
He
it's
did a great. He really, really did a great job. He scored better than he did the last time. You did.
yeah, but I even told Angel pre-show that if I had just focused for 5 minutes, like the drill where you have a full 5 minutes, that I did it in 5 seconds
Mhm.
because I just wanted it done. If I had concentrated for 5 more minutes and toughed it out,
Mm.
I would have done a lot better. That's all.
Eh. I think people shot the way they shot because it was nobody obtained a rifleman score. And we don't get very many of them, but we do occasionally.
So-
What was your hit factor, Mo, for that bottom row?
Your bottom row was not bad.
It
Your
wasn't
points
good.
over time, right?
Yeah.
IPSC hit factor? No.
No, it was not
No.
good. It was not good.
It wasn't bad.
Okay, so Kelly, you had asked for suggestions. So here's my suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proposing that for someone who's doing it a third time,
Mm-hmm.
that they can do like a Maple Seed Express.
Mm-hmm.
And you can come in for 20 minutes. You do like a 10-minute warm up, and then you do the MQT. And it has to be at a temperature of about 18 degrees. Overcast. What do you
Doesn't
think?
seem like too much to ask.
No.
Do you need a back massage too while you're shooting,
Yeah.
or
No,
snacks in between? No.
Princess.
Just
We'll
let's-
A pre-recorded ASMR track to play in your headphones.
Maybe some whale music playing in my ear while I'm shooting. What do you think?
I'm liking the whale music. I don't know if I'd want to shoot to whale music. Actually, I would. Make me
Maybe
hungry.
You could probably time it for your cadence.
Maybe a cool towel on my neck in the pro position.
Yeah. Well, I was
Someone
giving
just
it-
fanning you beside you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Did you want me to peel your grapes for you too?
no, that's not necessary.
No. He did
Um,
share. He did share his meat sticks with me. It was awesome.
Yes.
They were good. Yeah. We were handing out water to people. I say, "Have you peed yet?"
Yeah, no, they were very concerned about our well-being for sure.
Yeah. And asked
just-
people.
It's
Just
just a long
first.
day. We shot past 5 o'clock, did we not?
You did not.
Yeah, we did.
No.
I was there till after 6.
Yeah, that's because you stayed and helped clean up. Thank you so much for that as well.
Oh, my pleasure. But okay. I thought it was
We were
closer.
done by 5.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
we were done by 5.
I was done at like 2. Like not 5. I was
The pace of the day was slow. I was hoping to get in 3 MQTs, but we weren't able to, and it's just because
I don't think a third
everybody
one,
was slow.
third one wouldn't have helped me. I could have done
No.
50 MQTs at that
No.
point, and
And there was talk about, shooting a little longer. I'm going, no, everybody's toast because I saw it in the second MQTs. The scores were all going down.
All going down. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate seeing
And-
that because
and then
that's
at
it.
that point, everybody was safe, and then after that, I'm going, no, I know what everybody's going through right now, so I know we're going to call it right now at 2, and good. I'm just happy everybody was safe, and yeah, we'll come back.
I'll just say to Adam, yeah, I do feel like I let you down. I
No,
let the show
he
down. No, I did.
didn't.
It was complete
Listen,
failure.
No, it wasn't.
In life,
did better than
you
last
either
year.
succeed or you fail, and then that's what happened. So it was failure.
You did better than last time. That's it. The only
That's-
measure that I have, and
That's
no.
that's finishing 499 out of 500. That doesn't matter. So,
If you're not first, you're last.
yeah, you know what they say?
Yeah.
Second place is first loser. It's exactly the same thing.
No,
Okay,
you should come
Trevor.
out west. You should come do a
Hmm.
maple seed out here. We'll pass.
What's the
you.
weather going to be like in this Kananaskis place?
It's going to be fantastic. It's definitely not going to be chances of thunderstorm 40%.
Okay.
It's going to be like 20, not 24 with
20?
thunderstorms.
20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
What time do we plan on doing the MQTs? Maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock?
Yeah, around there. We're
okay.
going to be done the whole thing by 4.
Excellent.
it's only a 36-hour drive. Don't ask me how I know.
If I leave now, I could be there on time.
For you, you're in Montreal, so yeah, it's 40
Well, there's
hour
always
drive.
the Grand Prairie one in that. There's more
Mhm.
than
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
Kananaskis.
Yeah. The next one's going to be completely based on weather. That's
You can. Why don't you come out? Why don't you come out to our October one? I'm pretty sure it's not going to
That'd
be
be
40
good.
degrees.
I don't know. I'm
Oh,
not ready.
stop!
I'm not ready yet. It's gonna take a while to get over this. So
You did great. Stittsville in October. That's absolutely right, Greg Susie.
we'll see, Greg. We'll see.
I'll save you a spot. I'll even comp it for you. Now, what are you going to say?
Ooh.
Now
I
you
just-
have to.
Can I just do
Yeah.
the MQT at the beginning, and then
Yeah.
if it goes well, then I'll stick around, and if it doesn't, I'm just gonna leave and be done with it.
It won't. You need to get warmed up.
All right.
You need at least the warm up. If you could start at the positional, like the standing, start there.
Okay.
Think about it.
I also did it without a sling. Did I tell you that part? Did I leave that part out?
Yeah, he was getting frustrated with.
I was getting
He
frustrated
says,
with the
I'm done.
sling.
I'm not going to do it. And then I gave
So
him my Kelly
I
look.
literally,
And he goes, he
chucked
goes,
the sling behind
okay,
me.
I'll do
so
it. But
I didn't
doing
shoot
your
with a
own
sling.
thing.
Also,
Stop
we were
it.
close to a traditional rage quit.
No,
He was
I
almost
stayed.
trying-
See, that
Yes,
that
he was.
that makes the story even better.
No, the sling quit. I didn't quit. I kept shooting. So, anyways, am I good? Did I talk about it enough?
Oh,
Yes, Kelly.
you went back to the sling, didn't you?
Oh, I packed it up. I didn't use it after. No.
No, but you used one of our slings. You wanted to use your sling.
Yeah, but no, for the MQTs, I didn't use the sling at all. So
Oh, well, there you go. I gave you one of mine.
Slings for maple seed are optional. No
Shut
one
up.
uses slings in that thing.
yeah,
They're just a gimmick.
they're just
Yeah.
they're just for show.
Okay, serious. Next time, use my rifle like I told you to.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity, and have a good evening.
What
No.
did you use? What gun did you use? 1022 Voodoo.
The 1022 Gray Birch.
Gray
The
Birch.
rifle was awesome. It didn't malfunction at all. It was excellent.
Cool.
So William's right. I am going to stop talking. So I'm done.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we're going to get into the main topic here as our guest has arrived.
Sweet.
So let's get this layout going here. And welcome John Mouret to tell us all about tactical games. How you doing, John?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good. So we wanted to have you on to just get the competitor's viewpoint, and I wanted to hear from somebody coming from like a 3-gun background, and just I know a lot of people, especially in Canada, haven't heard of the tactical games. So why don't you actually first off tell us your background?
Well, thanks for having me on the show, first off, and yeah, I'll be glad to share anything I can with you. This is only going to be my second year currently competing in the tactical games, but I was aware of it when it came out probably in 2019 or so. It just took me a couple of years to get into it as I was busy shooting other disciplines. So my background is I'm a sergeant with a state police agency and have been for 26 years. I'm a firearms instructor for our agency, armor a lot of different weapons, and have been on one of our tactical units for about 9.5 years, and worked with a lot of plainclothes units on the street and stuff like that, as well as uniform patrol. And I started competing in 1997 when I came on the police force doing police events. And that just kind of snowballed into USPSA pistol and then into 3-gun in the early 2000s, 2005, 2006, around there, and has spread into other things. I've dabbled a little bit in PRS, some gas gun precision stuff, and now into the tactical games, 3-gun, 2-gun. So the pandemic kind of curbed a lot of 3-gun for me and pushed me towards 2-gun. The shotgun ammunition became hard to get down here. So, but still shoot some 3-gun, shoot a lot of 2-gun, and I'm really focusing on the tactical games currently because I'm an active person and I like to spend a lot of times doing the things I like, shooting rifles and pistols, and exerting myself physically, whether it's working out or just accepting a challenge that's laid in front of me.
Okay. Well, and on that, why don't you tell us, what is the tactical games? Like, what does it break down to?
So the tactical games, from what I've learned from it, came about in about 2019, 2018, 2019. Some former military guys got together. They wanted to see who could shoot the best, who was the fittest, or basically shooting under stress. And that kind of evolved, and they saw a niche to deliver that to the public, where the tactical games came about. It's pretty much shooting and combined with some sort of fitness, elevated heart rate, stress induction on the body, um, trying to do things that diminish your strength in your shoulders, your arms, your hands, and obviously your lungs, and then seeing how you perform on targets at different distances. Pistol targets could be anywhere from 5, 7 to up to 18 or 20 yards, and with an occasional longer shot. I know in Texas we shot some 10-inch steel, probably about 40, 35 yards last year. And then the rifle targets can be anywhere from um, 65 to maybe just over 100 yards on paper, and then out to steel, we've shot out to 500 yards on steel. So you throw in a workout component where you're taxing the body and stressing it out and going into that oxygen deprivation zone, and then you're picking up a weapon, you're trying to shoot precision targets. So a typical target for a pistol array would be a target that would have 2, 3, or 4 to 6 inch triangles on it, or maybe a 4 to 6 inch circle. And each iteration during the course of fire on that stage, you would have to deliver X amount of rounds into each one of those target areas, and that's where your points would accumulate. A miss outside of that target area adds 10 seconds to your time. So you could see how accuracy is important, and you could be super physically fit, but if you're not delivering rounds on target, you're going to get beat by somebody who can shoot if they're a little bit slower than you.
Yeah, that's a lot of focus on precision there. Holy. And 500 meter shots is no joke. You guys using like ARs for that kind of thing?
Yeah, the platforms that we're using is so pistols there's a myriad of different types of pistols you can use. In 2023, they just went to using red dot sights on the pistols in all divisions except for the elite. Um, and the rifles you can use a red dot with a magnifier, you can use a LPBO, but it's just one magnified optic. You could run a backup set of offset irons or something like that, but you can't have an offset red dot and a magnified optic. So it's one optic choice. And then if you have backup irons, you can have those as well. And you see everybody running a gamut of red dots with magnifiers to 1 to 4s, 1 to 6s, 1 to 8s, and 1 to 10s. So it's a pretty good cross section of all the different types of optics you could run on those platforms. And we see a lot of shooters or competitors some are shooting 12.5-inch pistol carbines, right, in 223. I run a 16-inch AR platform for Patriot Ordnance Factory, and I'm running an intermediate gas link system on that 16-inch barrel, and I'm running a proof barrel in that gun to try and pull a little bit more accuracy out wherever I can. And I run a 1 to 10 Vortex Razor on my rifle for my optic.
So what's your rifle coming in for weight then?
I really haven't weighed it, but I'm a big guy. Kyle, you know me, I'm 6'4", about 235 pounds. So a half a pound here and there doesn't bother me too much. I could see that a smaller shooter it might have an issue with. However, the games does have a weight component that is very important. All male competitors have to wear a plate carrier that weighs a minimum of 15 pounds. and all females have to wear a 12-pound minimum weight plate carrier. And for most of the stages, you have to retain and carry your gear with you throughout the course of fire. Um, if it's a movement up and down range, there's usually a firing line. Your pistol will stay holstered on you. Your rifle will be laid in the tray at the firing line. So competitors using slings are not flagging people as they're doing the work with the weights and not having to worry about their rifles in that sense. So it's safe pointing down range. So it's a lot safer for everybody as well.
So with competitors without a sling, is there like a time compensation for that, for like kind of even it out from the people who do have slings, or is it just kind of?
Slings are pretty much mandatory. When you show up to an event, you have a check-in period, and in that check-in period, they look at your pistol and make sure that it adheres to the requirements. They look at your rifle, and the rifle needs to have a bird cage type muzzle device. You can't have any compensators. Um, and then they look at your optics and things like that and make sure that you have a sling on it, because there are times where you have to sling that rifle to uh, take with you to an event, and you're going to be carrying it for a while. Some matches I've been to, we've broken our rifles down and put them in rucks and carried them. Other events I've been to, we have slung the rifle and took it with us on a long run. So the sling is a good additive to the system, and it's in the name tactical game. So most tactical rifles have a good sling on them that you can use to help you shoot, and obviously carry your gear so you can keep your hands free for other work.
What kind of running like are you guys doing? Is this like because there's a couple of different like 2-gun games where there's a lot of running, like not marathon, but like some good runs in between. Are you guys doing like a bunch of like a couple of kilometers?
Yeah, there's some running. There are some run and gun events in the U.S. that are becoming really popular right now, where they're doing 10Ks and stuff like that. And they'll spread out 5 or 6
Mhm.
stages throughout that 10K. It's a little bit different than the tactical games. A typical match that I've seen at the tactical games is there's 6 stages. Um, I'll just say this: there's 3 stages on day 1, and there's 3 stages on day 2. Those are shooting and workload stages combined together. There is also what they call a floater stage and an aggregate stage, where there's um, the one of those will be just a straight work component where you're lifting heavy sandbags, or you're doing some workload with just work, and then the other is just a strict shooting component. Whether it's we've seen things like El Presidentes with a pistol, then transition to rifle and do El Pres with the rifle. And then we've seen other shooting aggregates where it's just a shooting based system, but it's a very short, very quick type of scenario where they can run you through it, and give you a score, and it's shooting only. And then the other one is typically, like I said, running a weight or something. Let's see what else.
Well, what type of like physical stuff? Like you're talking about lifting sandbags and stuff. What can a person expect on the physical exertion side of it?
Oh, well, I guess that kind of depends on what division you sign up for. So they have several divisions, both in men's and female division. So the elite division is the their highest level, or where you would see the most physical component, where um, all the stages, all the shooting is the same for all divisions, and all the workload is the same for all divisions. The only difference is what division you sign up for determines how much weight you move during that workload. So the intermediate division would be the beginner division. Then there's the tactical division, which is the next step up. And then there would be the Masters 40 plus division, the Masters 50 plus division, and then the elite division. They also have a teams component where you can do co-ed or same-sex teams as well. But let's just say the intermediate division on a particular stage would have a 45-pound workload that they were working with. The next division, it might be 95 pounds. And so on and so forth, where the elite division might be moving 135 to 185 pounds. So that's where you find a lot of those typical high-end athletes that are very physical and tied into those workload communities. I don't want to use the term CrossFit, but maybe they're big into the functional movements of working out where they're used to that type of stuff, whether it's overhead carries, front rack carries, um, moving a yoke on your shoulders to a certain position, doing burpees. There's just a ton of different functional movements they do in these events.
Do they still do rope climb everyone? I know they used to, but
I had heard that they had rope climbs at some of their matches, but I had yet to see one. I think as the sport progressed, I think they saw the liability with hazard, with athletes getting extremely tired, and then obviously climbing the rope and then possibly falling and having an ankle injury or something like that. So I have not seen a rope climb yet since I started competing last year. I wouldn't mind it. I like rope climbs, but I also understand the liability of, you know, having somebody get an injury as well. So it's kind of nice to see that they're looking out for the athletes.
right. Yeah, that was gonna be another question because I see a lot of stuff from like say 3 years ago for videos on tactical games and what it is, what to expect, and I was kind of wondering how it's kind of changed in the last 3 years from what it was.
I've seen some videos from years ago where they were carrying military jerry cans full of sand or something like that. I think a lot of the equipment has progressed as well. Some of the jerry can stuff that we just did recently in Utah, it was a canvas bag style jerry can with a strap handle on it, right? So it was a little bit more, maybe a little bit more less awkward, but still weighed the same. So I think they're evolving some of the equipment to make it more functional for the events. And we do move a lot of sandbags. It's it's just a nature of the beast. But yeah, a lot of the equipment has changed and gotten better for the competitors. I think a lot of it too is easier to set up and move and carry around the U.S. too, which is part of that.
Okay. Hey, you're out there for all day. You said you have like 3 stages in one day. How much time would you say you have in between? Like, do you actually have a decent break between all this working out kind of stuff?
Yeah, you do. Typically, the morning brief is going to be just after sunup or right at gray light, and they break you up into groups, and they put you with other competitors in your division. So you when you go to shoot a stage, there's going to be 5 lanes, and there's a competitor in each lane. So you're side by side with each other. You're not rubbing elbows, but you're all in the same line, right? So they tend to put you in groups of 5 in your division, so they're not having to change weights mid-stroke for somebody in your lane that's running a heavier or a lighter division. And you might be in a block of 5 to 10 squads of 5 that are all in your division, and you're able to run all those weights, and then they would change for the next group, whether it was lighter or heavier, depending on their division. Uh, and then they would, once you would get that figured out in the morning, you would have your first stage time set. And once you finish your stage, and that stage could be anywhere from 12 to 24 minutes from what I've seen and experienced. And then you would probably have an hour and a half to 2 hour break before your next stage, which is good because you can go stretch out, hydrate. If you have to put some nutrients in the body, a lot of it, it's a long process. It's a long haul. And if you don't take care of yourself, you'll be suffering by the end of the day for sure.
Well, yeah, 24-minute stage.
Wow.
Sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty fun. So, and then there's they typically have a long run stage, which is combined with something, whether it's a 6 to 8 minute or a 6 to 8 minute stage followed up by a long run stage after, or maybe like in Utah, we had a long rifle stage. So we shot a bunch of close paper with the rifle, went up to a shooting position, went prone off the mag, shot out to 500, cleared the weapon, went back to the firing line, and then left on our 3.2 or 3.3 mile run with our gear on. And then you come back to the finish and they give you your time. So that would be your time for, they would break off your shooting stage for long rifle would be, say, your aggregate, and then the other part of the stage would be your long movement, your long run.
Okay. Well, how many competitors at like a single match?
You typically see about 200 competitors, 175 to 200 competitors in a match.
Wow.
It I don't think you could run more people than that through a 2-day match, because you're literally on the range from sun up till dark every day. And Nationals was no exception. Nationals last year was my first Nationals in the tactical games, and I finished third in the 40 plus division. But I got to hand it to those guys. Day one, we started in the dark and we ended in the dark. And on day one, we had 3 separate venues we had to go do stages at. One of them was a 4.5 mile run in a park in Texas. And then we had to go to the range and shoot 2 or 3 stages. And then that night we went to a CrossFit gym and did erg bike, rowing, and a ski erg event that evening. So we started at 6:30 in the morning. We were done at 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
So, but it's a lot of fun. You got to enjoy a little bit of puncture.
Speaking of venues, have you ever been to the South Carolina one? I know I was watching some videos, and it's, what is it? It's an abandoned nuclear facility, and you actually shoot in the facility?
It's on my list. It's on my list. There's definitely some venues anywhere that I can shoot, at different, angles where it's we're not just linear. We're actually shooting dimensional down into stuff or up into stuff. That would be awesome. But yeah, that event doesn't sync with some things I have going on in September. I think it's in September or July. It's coming up soon. But yeah, it's on my list. Hopefully next year I'll be able to get out there and do that.
Yeah, I was just watching videos that just look so cool to be able to shoot there. Anybody else have any questions they want to ask?
No, it seems really hardcore.
Yeah.
I think you'd sleep good after one of these.
What about prepping for it? How do you train for it? How do you get ready for it?
I think everybody kind of has their own how they get ready for it. I mean, I'm a big trial by fire guy. I stay fairly fit anyways because of my job and what I do. So my typical regimen is 7 days a week. I either run, bike, or hike. And then 5 days a week, I hit the gym. So that's how I kind of break that up. But at the gym, it's a lot of lifting weights, and a lot of it is just trying to get lean and create that strength without bulking up for me. And the cardio and the running and stuff helps get my heart rate and my threshold to stay lower when my fellow competitors, if we're competing on the line. And I mean, I have a big fault. Kyle knows this. Like, I always tell myself, okay, I'm going to pace myself on this one. I'm going to run this about 80, 85%. And then the buzzer goes off and it's 0 to 100. It's all or nothing with me, and that's just the way it is. But my goal is if that's how I'm going to operate, then I want to be able to keep my heart rate low the whole time so I can guarantee those hits on target. Yeah. It's nice when you go out and you're hammering stuff and you finish shooting and they go pull your targets and they count all your hits. And, the guy next to you is like, how many misses did you have? Well, I had 6. How many did you have? I had 17. Okay, well, cool. I feel good about my shots then, right? But everybody has to, I guess you got to, do your work, I guess, and stay in your lane and know what your potential is. Because if I try and compete with the guy next to me that's just blowing me out of the water, I can't. I gotta run my game. I can't really run theirs. Yeah. If he's and there's a lot of strategy involved in this. I've had some guys come to me and say, hey, you know what? I watched this next stage, and I just don't think I have the gas to get through all 4 iterations. What would you recommend? And I told this one gentleman, I said, well, what I would do is I would shoot really slow then and guarantee all my hits and get through your 3 iterations and get all your hits. And he did that. And when he finished, he said, I beat half the guys on my squad that rushed to finish the 4 iterations and were ripping shots and not really concentrating on the shots. He ended up beating their scores because he had better hits.
Yep.
So something to think about.
For someone brand new getting into it, I mean, you were saying you keep fit and so it just works with your lifestyle, but for someone new coming into it, do you have any metrics that you could just throw out that for a person to maybe not win, but just to ensure that they still have a decent time that they should be able to physically do or whatnot? Is there anything?
I mean, if you're just sort of physically fit, so I think if somebody was, let's start on the low end. If somebody walks their dogs 3 to 4 miles a day, 5 days a week, that you're getting some sort of cardiovascular work and you're getting some sort of workload in there. But being able to do some functional movements, like being able to do some squats or maybe some push-ups and lift some, kettlebells, and get some of that work done on the shoulders and upper body and stuff like that. Because you're going to see a lot of lifting in these events. And a lot of it is going to be not in perfect conditions because your heart's already jumping out of your chest when you're trying to lift these things. And it's, I got a nice dose of humble pie at Nationals last year. One of the events we did, which they're known for, is called the Heavy Inman, and it's lifting these strongman sandbags, and you lift 3, and they're in progressive weight over a bar that's 4 or 5 feet tall, and it's usually 5 reps, 3 reps, 1 rep, and then you take the lightest bag and you run down range with it, drop it, shoot your iteration, carry it back, and then you move that one out of the way, and then you just bump up another weight. So now eventually you get to your 4th and 5th iteration, and you've got this 200 plus pound sandbag, and you can't breathe. You're trying to lift it over a bar, and that was pretty hard. It gets pretty hard. But yeah, I think if you're just physically fit, you're used to working in an uncomfortable environment where your body's hurting and you're having a hard time breathing. If you can get comfortable with that and you can still guarantee your shot, I think you're going to do just fine. Because I would still state that I believe that you have to have some sort of fitness, but if you're a shooter and you take a shooter that can work in an uncomfortable environment and can build a shooting platform on the fly to guarantee their hits, they're going to do much better than somebody that's struggling with their weapon system, and they can't build a good position, and they can't repeat that shot that they take, right? It's the consistency, but it's the repetitive consistency of knowing when to take that shot, right? So I hope that answers your question.
I think it gives people an idea. I got one other one. I know we talked the other night, and the community, the competition. What is that like? Is it like what you would like stereotypical gym rat or military, like screw you and just hardcore, or what's the typical thing there?
No, everybody I've encountered these events are fantastic. I would say that I've offered my guns to people that are complete strangers, that if I'm not shooting, like, and their gun goes down, I'll fix their gun on the tailgate of my truck and put parts in it out of my part kits I have to get it running so these guys can finish. Hey, if you need to borrow a gun, take mine and I'll fix yours. Or if they can, whatever they need. Guys, I loan people magazines, whatever we can do. And they have a little community site on Facebook, and people are willing to help other people out. I remember reading some post about somebody who was coming from the north down to an event, and they said, yeah, I don't have this, or there was some limitation on magazines or something. And somebody volunteered, yeah, if you're going to this event, I'm going to be there. Look me up. I'll bring some extra magazines that you can use while you're at the event. And the Tactical Games has a component where when you sign up for a match, you can order your ammunition at the and pay for it when you sign up. And then when you get to the event, your ammo's there waiting for you. So they try to accommodate everywhere where they can. And I mean, people are gracious in this community with sharing stuff. And on the strategery side, like, I've always believed that there's no secrets in this game. If Kyle and I are competing together, and I think I've got something that might have an edge over him, and he asks me, how are you going to do this? I'm going to tell him straight up. Because if it works for him, and it's obviously going to work for me, I either want to lose or beat the best Kyle I'm shooting with. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
It does. Yeah.
you've
Yep.
So,
done that. We've squatted
uh,
together, and yeah, we've discussed stage plans and everything before. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, the community is really good. And then even while I'm competing side by side with the people on my squad, and we're suffering together, I'm a big talker. So I might talk to the guy in the lane next to me, hey, come on, man, you got to step it up. You're doing great. While I'm doing work and dying, where I get to a target, I'm shooting my target. I see his. And, hey, man, you need to guarantee your hits. Let's get those points on that board. Come on, let's and try and push each other. And I think everybody's like that. I've never seen anybody not root everybody else on. It's, I mean, we're all suffering together, right? So we might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I don't know.
What's-
Anything else? Oh, Kelly?
So what has been your favorite match to go to?
In the tactical games,
Yeah.
or just in match in general.
No, tactical games. You have to. So you've gone to the nationals, right? Has that been your
Yes.
favorite? Or has there been other matches that you've gone to that you just said, I did so well. I loved it. People were great. The weather was perfect.
I think it's hard to pin one down. So I would say nationals thus far is my favorite, only because the events it's 3 days.
Yeah.
So you end up doing, instead of doing 6 events in an aggregate and a floater on the weekend, you're doing 9 events in an aggregate and a floater each day. So you're basically shooting 12 events in 3 days, and you're giving your all on everything. So when I got to nationals, my thought was, well, let's see how well this apple cart holds together before the wheels fell off. And I was able to manage it until it finished, right? So that was good.
That's good.
I'm no spring chicken. I'm 50, but I know there's competitors out there that are much older than me that are out there and having fun doing it. And it's just trying to take care of your body so it doesn't fall apart, so you can get through all this stuff. But all the venues, I shot in Texas last year as well. The scenery was amazing. We were shooting on berms, grass berms, which we don't have in Arizona. So we were shooting grass berms and shooting out in farm fields and running through mesquite trees in Texas, to just recently in Utah in May. We're running through the painted cliffs of southern Utah and northern Arizona on the border, for our long run, which was beautiful. And I mean, where do you get that? I mean, and I just can't wait to go shoot on the East Coast where we have all this lush greens and you're shooting, decommissioned nuclear test sites. Who doesn't want to do that? I mean, there's so much.
Sounds awesome.
There's so much for me to still see, that I think every one of them I go to is my favorite until the next one. And then that was my favorite because it's an evolution, right? It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I'm a student of the game. So every time I go to one, no matter how good I do or that I screw something up, I learn something. It's like, well, I know what I need to either change in my workout regimen so I don't have that problem, or hey, I need to add this to my training with my weapon system so that I can tighten things up a little bit.
What are you using
For
weapons firearms?
So my rifle is a Patriot Ordnance Factory Renegade Plus.
Okay.
Which is their 16-inch AR-223 platform,
Right.
And then my pistol is hand built by Tactical Steel Customs out of Kansas City. It's basically based off of a custom 2011 setup with a red dot sight on it. So
very nice.
yeah.
Okay. Where'd you shoot? By the way, in Texas, where'd you shoot? Where was it?
I don't know if I'm gonna pronounce it correctly, but Waxahachie.
Waxahachie, yeah.
So that's where their 2-day event was last year, and then Nationals last year, which is their home range, was in Liberty, Texas, which is just outside of Austin.
Yeah.
So that's where their Nationals will be again there this year, and I'll be attending that as well. I've also got I won my seat there at Utah with my finish. So
yeah, we had the guys on from Waco Tactical Fitness on. How many years ago was that, Adriel? Probably, I think it's been a while.
A while back, yeah.
Yeah, it was 2017. I think it was. But I went down to Waco and fabulous people. But when we had them on, I know that a lot of people were saying, ooh, running 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers and then shooting. No, I do a 100-meter dash and that's about it. So I actually think it's something I would love to do. We don't do it here in Canada, though. We don't really have anything like this in Canada. I'd love to do it. I'd love to be able to do it.
Like John was saying, though, they make it easy because you can just order your ammo at the match and just bring your rifle and pistol down.
Yep. We need it here in Canada.
Yeah, Canada's probably got some beautiful terrain to do that type of event too.
Canada Nexus this weekend.
Yeah.
Adriel's going to. It's the Rockies, so
It's right in the mountains. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weather will be variable.
You can still run with your gun. I'm not sure that. No, Adriel's shaking his head though.
I don't want to do that. Sounds fun. But I want to do add an event for it. I would want to do it and blow my knee out.
No, you don't want to do that. No, it's lots of fun though. Okay.
Okay, John, any final advice for anyone looking to get into it?
For me, I would say just go do it. Everybody might be nervous that they're not going to shoot with a friend or something, but you'll quickly realize that everybody there is there to help you, and it's a community, right? So, run what you brung, and it's a learning curve, and strategize a little bit and play it to your strengths and weaknesses. If you don't think you can finish 4 or 5 iterations of the stage, which is, and get a stop time and you're going to time out, then figure out how many you can do and make your shots count, because you'll be surprised how you finish out if you're shooting really good.
Awesome. Well, if nobody has anything else, thank you very much, John, for coming on and telling us all about the tactical games.
Awesome. Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
You guys have a good evening.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right.
Later.
Bye-bye.
I think that's an awful lot of fun.
Yeah.
I feel like I would blow up my knee.
Definitely need some prep work for it, for sure.
I can't even make it through a maple seed because it was too hot. So,
well, you got
getting up and down.
You got a couple hour break in between.
Yeah, I know. He goes to the gym 5 days a week and does some sort of exercise 7 days a week. Yeah, no.
He is. I thought he was way younger than he is.
What's the face for, Kelly?
I'm feeling bad about myself.
I'm just thinking about got to move down to Arizona and start this. Not here in Ontario. Okay. Yeah.
Right, well, thank you again, John, for coming on. We'll get on with the rest of the show. So, upcoming events. That's right where we left off.
Just jump in,
Yeah.
Wherever we left off, that's what we're gonna do for the show.
Everybody did
well,
what
Kelly's
they
giving
did.
a confused look here, so.
What are you saying?
That's normal. That's a normal look.
No
comment on it.
Upcoming events. So for upcoming events, we have the CFS, or Canadian Field Sporting Nationals, and the Bill Brownlee Challenge in Grand Prairie, July 20th to 23rd. You check out Wapiti Shooters Club Facebook page or contact the range for more info. Maple Seeds. There lots of talk. They're happening. Are there any more being released, or are they all released now?
No, there's more still being released.
Always releasing more.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so you can go and check those out at mapleseedrifleman.com. If you're looking for a 3-gun match, Adriel tries to keep 3gun.ca updated with all the matches going on around. You can check out ORA events on Practice Score. What is it? Ontario Rifle Association?
Ontario Rifle Association, yeah.
And there's some talk, thought there might be a IPSC match in Tabor, Alberta canceled. BTSA is setting up an IPSC style match on Sunday this week. Black badge is not required. PCC is allowed, and you can go check out on Practice Score under BTSA. It'll be July 16th. Or A is
How long do you take? I'm going to keep adding events.
Yeah, okay. I'll keep reading them as you add them. ORA is having a sporting rifle match on July 22nd at CFB Borden. You can go check them out on Practice Score.
Sweet.
Yep. Is there any more, Adriel?
No, that was it.
That was it? Okay. I'm going to start putting matches down here up there. No. We'll get on to the news. And this was actually a while ago. I think we actually missed out on it, but it's alarming nationally. Alert seized over or nearly 100 3D printed firearms in Alberta.
No, this wasn't old. This is July 5th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
100 3D printed firearms in Alberta. What's the point of gun control when 3D printers are a thing?
Yeah, the only unfortunate thing is now 3D printers, and it just...
How are you going to
justification-
regulate 3D
well,
printers? You can 3D print a 3D printer.
Yes, but they're talking files and everything. If you have files on your computer, and
Well,
just the
people
whole
have
privacy
files
thing
for
and-
everything. It's like there's no way that they.
Well, it's right back to the 80% lowers. A chunk of aluminum, a file on your computer. You haven't done anything with it, but
What if you use a VPN? All of a sudden, C11, C18, 3D.
Stop it.
printed stuff.
Adriel, stop.
Well, as soon as C11 and C17s or C18 start making my YouTube
Well,
crappy,
you
I'm using a
do
VPN.
know that it's all in protection of Canada. Our
It's to
government.
protect our cultural
that's
heritage.
what they say
Otherwise,
about everything. Yeah.
we won't have as many French programs.
That
and
is
as
correct.
many CBC programs. What?
Hmm.
Please think about Schitt's Creek.
So, Schitt's Creek, yeah,
I mean, well, Schitt's Creek was okay, but
yeah, it was
I
pretty
didn't watch
funny.
it. I don't know.
Me neither.
I like Corner Gas better. So, I don't know where that came from.
Have you actually watched Corner Gas? I don't think I've watched the CBC
Oh,
show in
yeah.
like over a decade.
We get it in the prison all the time. That's the only thing that comes on at lunch.
That's
how
very
about,
Canadian.
how about
Please.
Beachcombers?
The corner
No.
gas in the
Patriotic.
prison. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get beachcombers and Corner Gas.
Yeah. Nope. The heritage minister is from Quebec, who was not born in Canada. I'm just saying, I'm not a racist or anything like that. I'm just gonna shut up now. But the heritage, I think it's quite ironic, isn't it? Ironic, isn't that
A
a
little
song?
bit.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of talks to what the government values, and his comments on this file have been awful on
know.
C18 specifically.
Yep.
That's has nothing to do with the thing I have up in front of us here, but
So the big battle going on with Meta and Twitter and Google, and this is just getting ridiculous.
it's extortion. It's
Yeah.
extortion so that
It's
the Canadian
it's called
businesses-
capitalism. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? It's the same thing that's happened. I do know that. Okay, so little mom and pop newspapers. Kingston had its own newspaper, right?
Mhm.
It's now owned by a conglomerate here in Canada because you know what, the newspaper couldn't compete, and so it got bought out. It's the exact same thing. It is the exact same thing. Well, and they're saying, well, we have to give, whether it's, well, they don't have to give CBC kickbacks because the government's funding it, but
Mhm.
it's everybody else, and essentially it is the government funding now when you think about C18, right? Because they're trying to force everybody else to give, whether it's, I don't know, the
Everything.
National Post.
CBC, Post Media, Toronto Star.
Correct.
Well, Toronto Star and Post
They
Media
don't-
we're talking about merging because they're both losing money hand over fist right
Right.
now. They won't survive
oh, I
without the
know.
government.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
But that's
It's-
more of like a horse and buggy getting like outclassed by the car. Like it's
Exactly.
like those businesses should merge, not because like I'm really anti-competitive, but I think that sorry, not anti-competitive, competitive, but I don't think like those businesses have any hope of succeeding on their own. Like a small newspaper business can't make enough money to pay for the costs of printing or
No.
Yeah.
doing stuff online or paying journalists. So they will have to merge, and they will eventually all fail.
I
Just
really
because of the
am
nature
glad that
of
I
it.
didn't get into journalism like I was
Mhm.
planning to do. Would not have a job.
By now, you'd be
right
in
now.
blogging,
No.
and ChatGPT would be like creeping
I'd
in
have
on
to
your
do both
job.
anyway.
Real hard. But like today, if you look at a CBC article or a NatPo or a lot of people, they use these services. They'll use like the Canada Press or the Canadian Press or
Associated Press.
Reuters or AP or something like that. They'll be using someone else who like that's their whole job is
Exactly.
just doing that kind of thing. So that at that point, what are you
Yes.
really subsidizing or what are you really like paying for? Yeah.
Agreed.
Anyways,
Canadian
that's
Heritage.
entirely not
Another-
gun related.
Another Canadian heritage moment. Tee, tee,
Yeah.
tee.
Yeah.
I like the
I
spider
really
one. When the
like
spiders
those.
are doing drugs.
Oh, I smell burnt toast.
Okay.
We'll get on to the next news story, which is more great news from Ontario. Apparently, if you're
What are we
postal
doing
code-
now?
Well,
No.
apparently, if
It's from FOC. FOC is saying like, hey, we're if you're buying ammo and you're in Northern Ontario, we can't ship you ammo. That's the longest story from FOC. I assume this is the same for many retailers because Northern Ontario is just not important. Not important to whatever Canada Post or UPS or whoever they're using to ship.
Do you know
for.
how hard it is to deliver up to Northern Canada or Northern Ontario?
I assume it's just all wilderness and bears and stuff. And Southern Ontario is all Toronto, and then Northern Ontario is just bears.
well, what I
Bears.
find funny is Northern Ontario starts at the Great Lakes.
Yes.
Really? Is that what people
Yeah.
say? I don't know
Yeah.
enough about the area, but I assume like
Anything north of Sudbury,
okay.
north of Timmins.
Yeah.
Oh dear,
Way up north.
that's way up north.
Get moving on. We have a giveaway going on. SBI has donated a Lynx 180 match lower, lightly used by Adriel. And get entered. All you have to do is donate at least $20 to this CCFR. Send us a screenshot of your receipt, and you'll get entered. We also have a bonus entry. If you take a picture of a gun or yourself with a gun, post it to Instagram and tag us, you'll get yourself an extra entry in to win that. And the contest closes August 1st. And
I
we'll
saw a
get
couple more
into
entries come through this week.
yeah, we've had
Mhm.
some entries started coming in this week. I think
Just
where are we at right now? We have 8 entries in right now.
Wow,
Ooh,
that's
a
pretty good
odds.
odds.
That's a good
Yeah,
odds.
still good
Come
odds.
on.
Mhm.
Yeah. Get into new gun stuff. New gun stuff is brought to you by Bullseye North. Need a new boomstick? Bullseye North is Canada's shooting superstore and a proud supporter of the CCFR. With a wide selection of guns and top trending gear for any shooter. Free shipping over $200. Some exclusions apply, like ammo, and or ammo if you live in Northern Ontario. Subscribe to their weekly newsletter to get first access to the hottest deals.
Yeah.
Just drive 30 minutes south and you're practically at Bullseye if you're in Northern
Yeah.
Ontario, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Just
Speaking
drive out of. I just get a mailbox out of the P digits. Or
What's
letter code.
P mean for you guys? Does that mean is that like
That means
no
north.
man's land? Okay.
So just someplace else.
And when you're going to someplace else, you're going to need some clothing for it. Bullseye North has 30% off women's Badland clothing. So if you're looking
Yeah.
for some camo or some tights or
Good
neck
camo.
gears,
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
yeah. If this is that what Ontario looks like, this pattern here, not that one. This one
That
Orange.
one?
Yes,
that looks
Yes.
good. Oh, that
exactly
looks
like
good.
that. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a snake willing to like jump out and kill a deer. Anyways, they got that stuff on sale. Moving on. This was actually announced last week, but I only saw it briefly and I didn't know if it was a thing or not. But Turnion? Is that how you pronounce that? Turnion?
Turnion.
Sounds right.
Turnion.
They're making some 870s. They're making some like Gucci 870s. They're built on the Remington 870 platform.
Yep.
They're doing some stuff to it. They're trying to pimp out the 870s. So they've got some with like a red dot on them. They've got some pumps with ghost ring sights and Picatinny rail on the receiver. Yeah, your standard Gucci 870, I would say.
What's the price? The prices on there?
Let's go find out right now. Shop. You bet I want to shop. Actually, I don't. I'm very cheap. Firearms. Oh, they got some knurled stuff. Okay. 870. Which one? Which one, Mo? Which one's calling to you?
One to the left.
That one?
Yes.
With the pistol grip. Okay.
Yes, with the pistol grip.
Oh, it's $0.
It's free.
It's free.
Nice.
I will order one right now.
It might say notify when available, so I might have to go back and pick another one here.
Oh, it says coming
Magfed.
soon.
Oh, doesn't have that one. Oh, they're all coming soon. Okay.
I don't get it.
They're coming soon. They're introducing it, but it's not available yet.
Okay.
Pre-order only. Anywho, let's get on to something that you can order right now. That's also a shotgun. Western Metal has the Sauer SL5 3-gun semi-automatic shotgun. It's a little pricey. It's $1,930.
With pistol grip.
With a pistol grip, which you wouldn't really normally see in 3-gun because normally when you reload, you're popping it under your arm or you're popping it up. You don't want that crap in the way of loading. JP Sauer and Son.
Never heard of them.
I've never heard. You know, I added this and I was hoping you'd like call that out, Kyle, because I've never heard of these guys either. And when they were saying it's a 3-gun shotgun, it's $1,900. I was like, oh my god, this better be a Gucci Benelli, and it's not. Where is this made? Is this made in the U.S. or is this made in Benelli Creo Plus for the shotgun choke? I don't actually know where this is made. I don't know anything about this. It might be cool. It might not.
It does look like it's
That-
Benelli clone.
Yeah, the foreign looks like a Benelli clone. But why would a Benelli clone be $1,900? Because I
Well,
know that there's some of the Turkish Benelli clones are out. They're not $1,900 though, even with all the extra stuff on them.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have necessarily advertised this as a 3-gun shotgun. I'd be interested to see the load
It's got a
port
3
on that.
a 3+1. That's got to be good for 3-gun, right?
Yeah, and
3+1.
18 and a half inch barrel.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well,
definitely.
that would be okay if it's got chokes. It's got.
Oh
a
yeah,
turkey
you got to
choke.
choke up. Yeah.
It's got a turkey choke. That's for if you gotta hammer the ever living fuck out of a vertical spinner. You put in the turkey choke. Boom! That thing's going over.
Oh, it says made in Italy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, weird. So, like, I have no information on this thing. I thought I'd pull it up because it's like very weird. Not something I'd see normally.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's a thing. Speaking of weird things I found on CGN, Juan Stalls has a Rapier surface-to-air missile system for $35,000.
Nice.
Wow.
I saw it
Okay.
on CGN. I'm like, this is gonna be a joke. I'm gonna click on this.
Wow.
No, it is.
Nope.
The missiles are
Can you,
dummies.
can you use Sezzle to buy that?
I wonder if
Right
they
out of your
offer
payment?
overnight shipping.
Not if you live in Area P.
Add to cart.
Really? Oh, that's a shame.
Proceed to checkout. Oh, it's gonna let me. Oh, okay. Wow.
Oh, total 39. Yeah, the taxes are.
No.
Or
I'm
no,
not in
shipping.
BC. I don't gotta pay that.
Oh yeah.
Boy, this is something you'd want to buy in Alberta and then just drive it to your house just to save on the PST. Holy crap!
Wow. That is
Anyways,
something.
if you've been looking for that perfect lawn ornament, Juan Stalls has it.
Wow. Yeah.
Canada's
like
Gun
it.
Store has the. Sorry, go ahead, Cal.
So I like it. It's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you put it right next to the gnomes on the front yard.
yeah.
Canada's Gun Store has a CZ 600 Trail in 223. This is a Remington 10R. Cool. 16-inch. So this is a bolt action rifle. 1349. Looks very light and fast.
Mhm.
Sorry, guys. I picked all weird guns today, and I didn't even realize it. But Sylvester's Sporting Goods out in Bonnyville, they have the Gunworks Nexus 6.5 PRC 20-inch. This is like a carbon fiber, super lightweight Gucci gun.
Yeah.
$7,500, but like the stock and the barrel and everything looks lightweight on this thing. What's the weight on this thing? It's got to be like 7 pounds 2 ounces with a 20-inch barrel. 7 pounds. That's not even that light.
I was expecting a lot later. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the standard Savage Axis is like 6.5. This is probably stiffer. It's probably way stiffer with that big aluminum chunk along the bottom here.
Oh yeah. I didn't even see that. Yeah.
And yeah, your integrated pick rail on the front there and a little
Is
leather.
that pick and Arca rail?
It sure is.
Nice.
Mhm.
Very nice.
The leather wrapped bits over here. Like,
Yeah.
woo!
Yeah, your leather wrapped cheek pad and pistol grip. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't even have a backup camera though. Moving on.
No.
I've been looking at vans recently. Canada's Gun Shop out in Calgary. They've got some of the Nosler rifles. These are also fancy rifles. These are around $3,500. Also, they got carbon fiber everything and very, very nice setup. They got them in 300 Win Mag, 308, and 6.5 Creedmoor, of course.
Nice.
Right around the 22 to 24-inch barrels. They are threaded muzzles, so you can put on I don't know, a brake, blow out your ears. Nothing. For a 6.5, I would put nothing on there. But these are the Model 21s. So if you're looking for something that's lightweight and very fancy, they've got the 6.8 pounds.
Nice.
This one's from Tony. He noticed that Cabela's had the Frankfurt Arsenal Platinum Series rotary brass tumbler light on for $119. So that's a pretty decent price. That's about 50% off, 40% off. If you're looking to do that pin tumbling kind of thing, this will hold 300 pieces of 223 brass and a bunch of stainless steel pins to give it that nice squeaky clean look.
Nice.
Also from Tony, Tendicana has the CCI Blazer brass 9mm, 115 grain for $740 for 2,000 rounds.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Pretty
not
good.
bad.
Pretty good. One of the other gun stores I noticed was doing a moving sale. I think they had cheaper Remington.
FOC.
Solely Outdoors.
Solely outdoors. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Solely Outdoors had 9mm Remington for $350. So pretty good still, but that's temporary. Tenda might have that sale on for the whole month. And that's everything.
Good stuff.
And that's it.
Cool.
Okay,
That's
can
all I
you
gotta say
find
about that.
something to top? Yeah. Next week. Next
You want-
week, I would
Yeah.
like you to actually find me a howitzer.
A howitzer. Okay.
Yes,
Okay, I will.
I know you will. I know you will.
Nuclear warhead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's getting crazy now.
And he's spreading it down. And howitzer.
He's gonna have it in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. No, save it for next
No.
week.
Next week.
Okay.
Alright, we'll get into listener feedback, and we had a message on Facebook from Link Canuck.
He's
Mo, did
listening
you
right
want to
now.
read that?
Yeah. Just
He's
one
trying
s-
to. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 second. From Link. Good evening, Slamfire guys and gal. I spent this week in Calgary at the Stampede from Ontario. I wore my CCFR Firearms Rights are Human Rights. I got so many compliments, and some people even asked to get a picture with a real cowboy. For reference, I'm a farmer and have worked cows my whole life, so they were not wrong in their assumption. Loving my time in Alberta and Calgary, and I'm going to check out the Calgary Shooting Center before going back to Ontario. Keep it classy, everyone. Good night, Kelly.
Aw. Well, good night to you too. You're listening right now, or you're watching, or you're trying to.
Yeah, he said he was in Lake Louise and he was trying to. Yeah.
Yeah. So did anybody else know this, that Mike's in German? Mike's, he says Sauer's German. Yes, it is. That he's here in Ontario.
Well, he did mention that in the chat. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm just catching up.
Welcome, Mike.
Yeah. Welcome to the center of the universe. Yeah.
Better Canada.
Yeah.
Greater Canada.
No, isn't that the real Canada?
We're just Texas light up here in Alberta.
Yeah. Good for you.
And proud of it.
Yeah.
It should be.
We do have an email from Tony. Adriel, did you want to read that one?
Swine's hitting me strong, but I'll give my best shot. Empire crew. Sorry, I have a long essay again for today. I didn't even
Tony.
like writing when I was in school. Recently, I've made a purchase from Tenda Canada, and the order involved a discounted gift card and the best price guarantee. I had a mixed experience with them, and I hope I can help some Slamfire listeners away from inconvenience by sharing my experience. The order started as a normal order with a part paid by discounted gift card I purchased earlier in the year, and the rest paid by credit card. A few days later, I noticed a competitor offering a better price on one of the items, and the item is in stock. So I emailed Tenda for a price match. The Tenda employees replied, prompting and informed me that in the terms and condition, price match purchase could not be paid by discounted gift card purchased from the promotion. It seemed odd to me, as the gift card store page says no expiry date, use anytime in store and online, with no mention of conditions may apply. I replied back asking if I could pay the gift card amount with a credit card, effectively paying the entire order via credit card. The Tenda employee agreed as a one-time exception, but informed me that I would need to pay for shipping, as the competitor does not offer free shipping. And for Tenda, the best price guarantee is an apple-to-apple policy. I find that a bit strange, as I haven't seen any stores asking to match the shipping cost when doing a price match, but I agreed to the arrangement. The shipping cost was set to be $23.96, again odd to me, as Tenda offers flat rate shipping at $30. So I inquired again, and my Tenda contact told me it is the shipping cost from the competitor's website to my address. Yeah, that's good on them. But the competitor includes shipping insurance in their shipping cost. I've already paid extra for shipping insurance with Tenda. So I emailed again. After a few conversation exchanges, the Tenda employee
Tony,
shipping insurance cost. Credits where credits due. Tenda did come through with the correct prices in the very end, but it was less than a pleasant experience going back and forth for the few dollars. I guess it would have been an overall negative experience otherwise. I just wish Tenda's policies would be a bit more clear and a bit more customer friendly. The summary would be, the discounted gift cards are a great deal, but be sure to use them on items you do not need to price match. I've confirmed with the Tenda contact that regular sale prices still applies when using gift cards, but that is not clear on the website either. And I guess shout out to podcast affiliate sponsor Cabela's. I had zero issues with their customer support, and they did the right things every time in my experience with no questions asked. Thanks for the show, as always. Best regards, Tony from Calgary, Alberta.
That was quite the ordeal.
Mm-hmm.
I've used the Cabela's price match at Cabela's, and shipping didn't come into it. Can I get this thing at this price? And they're like, yeah, I guess. But sounds involved.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Way too involved for me. I'm just going.
Yeah, I don't know.
$2. I wouldn't. Yeah. Whatever it is.
Tony's grinding for those deals. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta grind for those deals. I'm horrible though, because like I'll be pissed off if a friend of mine buys something at like $10 more. I'm like, no, you could have got it cheaper over here. When it's like, I wouldn't care about that stuff at all if it was like something from Home Depot versus Lowe's or something like that. Just for gun stuff. Am I just the tightest, cheap, tightwad ever?
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you, Tony. I appreciate what you're doing.
Well, we'll get into YouTube comments, and we got Link, who's commenting for the algorithm. We'll be watching, listening on Rumble or Spotify, depending on what link works best.
Very good.
Then we got Tony. Says, Adriel, it's time for your channel's name change. Suggestion would be Maple 3 Gunner, and hunting channel would be Maple 3 Gunner Hunts. And he comments, as mentioned before, hard to race a sub 2K. Good entry to the sport, though.
I see people racing sub 2Ks at 3-gun all the time. They're reliable. They're small and light. So like whipping them around on a stage is fantastic. They're just hard to put an optic on.
Hmm.
Kelly loves the whipping around.
No, you and Tony are in a bromance for sure. This is me and Adriel.
No.
Same page. Hashtag same
We're
page.
both cheapskates.
It's not cheapskates. It's your frugal.
Frugal firearms.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, hey, that's no.
The
The
frugal firearms guy. Yeah.
There you
It's
go.
It's too wordy. It's too wordy.
And the
like,
hunting
yeah,
gear guy is not.
it is a bit wordy too. Yeah. Adriel. I'll just go with Adriel now. But the sub 2K, like I see people running them at 3-gun and they run fine. They're fast to reload. I like the reloading into the grip. It's just your red dot's on the forend if you run a red dot, and you should run a red dot if you want to game with those things.
Mm.
Oh, and the charging in your armpit is terrible. But
Yeah.
a lot of the rest, like the price is great. The reliability is decent.
Mike says the best part of the sub 2K is that they're environmentally friendly because they're made of Florida beach plastic.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
Tony was listening back on episode 476, and he made note that Adriel was looking at the High Point 9 months ago. So,
Mm-hmm. But I
And then
still
he-
got the best deal on it.
Yeah.
It took the best deal possible for me to pull the trigger.
You were lusting after it for a while.
and he comes back to current times and says, if possible, ask Kyle to bring you High Point magazines next time from stateside. 1950 US per 5-round mag.
Fuck that. I don't care. I'm not paying $20 for no 5-round mag.
Yeah, so that is caught up on YouTube. If you want to send us something, send us an email, comment on YouTube, Facebook. We'll read it on the air. We also have a Discord. You can go and join the Discord server. And yeah, also we have a Cabela's link on our website. So if you're buying anything online at Cabela's, jump over to our website, click the link, and we'll get a little kickback. And towards the end of the month, we'll make a list and we'll go through all the purchases. Shoutouts.
I have one. My shout out this evening is to Canada's finest maple seed instructor. Maybe North
Greg?
America's finest maple seed apple seed instructor. Kelly. Thank you, Kelly.
Are you trying to suck up
Yeah.
and get points to get Pat?
No,
next
I mean
time?
I already failed, so it doesn't matter at this point.
I spent the whole entire day with Mo, and he had company at his place, and he stayed with me to clean up. So
I did.
my
did.
shout out is to Mo because yeah, I had such a great time with you. It was stinking hot, and you stuck through it, and you even when I gave you my look of death, you
Did a few times.
he goes, I don't need no stinking sling, and I looked at him and I went,
Yeah, she didn't care for me. She didn't care for me chucking the sling.
It's-
I'll tell you that much.
yeah. But no, he was doing great. He was doing fantastic. Everybody was, but it was just a challenging day for everybody. So, but I got to spend 10 quality hours with you.
10 quality hours. Yes,
They were quality.
I think
So
so.
my shout out is to you because
Thank you.
you did well. You really, really did. So don't beat yourself up. That's it.
I don't have a shout out.
None for me.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys don't want to shout each other out?
Yeah, come on.
Kyle, you were such a great guy. I can't say enough about how great of a guy you are.
There you go.
Right back at you, Adriel.
Oh,
You're really
nice.
swell.
So nice. What a lovin'.
And with that, we're going to sign off. So go join our Discord server. Watch us on Facebook, YouTube, and Player. Join the CCFR, and we will see you next week. Good night.
Later, everyone.
Good night. Good night,
Good
Dave.
night. Yeah, good night, Dave.
I assume you